Northern Region. Tamale. Tamale is the capital town of the Northern Region and the third largest city in Ghana. It is the fastest growing city in West Africa, with majority of the people being Muslims. Due to its central location, Tamale serves as a hub for all commercial and administrative activities in the Northern Region. It also doubles as a political, economic and financial capital of the Northern Region. In terms of population, it has over 950,124 inhabitants living in the city. One of the cosmopolitan cities in Ghana is Tamale. The media is very vibrant and plays a key role in informing, educating, and entertaining their audience. The city is also strong culturally and supports women in entrepreneurship.
In Tamale, we were able to map out 10 organizations, dominant being radio stations. That was 6 of them, 2 TVs and 1 blogger, and then 2 women enterprises. Tamale had the very cosmopolitan feel from the 3 other northern regions that we visited. We found out that there was more economic activities in terms of women doing something, and then the cultural aspect was also very, very evident. In Tamale, one thing that really influences the economic activities in the region is the fact that there is a chief that is solely dedicated to commercial activities, and he's the Daklima. And we got to know that because of the fact that the Daklima means chief of markets. So automatically, anybody coming into the region to do business or anything significant happens to visit the Daklima's palace. And this influence has an impact on the kind of businesses that was being done in the region. We got to know from some of the media personnel that we spoke to that brand promotion and visibility was key in the region. So what businesses were doing was that they would engage popular personalities in the media to promote their businesses for them. So you find out that there were a lot of skits, short videos that was being done by radio personalities or television personalities to promote certain businesses and brands, which was a very interesting aspect that we saw. On the part of women, we realized that women were very active in the entrepreneurial space. Though, just like the other regions, women were engaged in agricultural activities of agribusiness, like buying and selling and stuff like that. Women were also into more or less operating restaurants and food joints. We had a lot of, we got to know that a lot of women were into agro processing of shea butter, groundnut paste, and other household essentials. Another peculiar thing that we came across in Tamale that later ran through the other regions was the fact that there were advertising agencies that were mainly from the south, which is the capital, Accra, who were into business promotion, adverts and stuff like that. So these agencies were the organizations that engage the radio stations when it comes to adverts. So we got to know that business was not something that people really took their time to research and then get into, but they did it based on trends, which was something that was happening in the other regions.
The city of Tamale is vibrant and entrepreneurial at heart. The youth are coming up with many small business ideas that are virtually run online. Fine-tuning their products' quality standards will go a long way to help make their businesses sustainable.
There are a lot of NGOs that are helping to develop human capital over there. However, there's very low patronage from women, even when the product is free, or even when their training is free, and a lot of other perks have been offered, from free lunch and all that. Women still do not come in their numbers as is expected of them. So as to how that can be changed is a real challenge. It's a real challenge, since there are other factors that has to be solved, from having permissions from their parents, or even the women themselves believing that what they are coming to learn, they can really apply it. Some women feel the roles they are being trained isn't really their thing. They are used to cooking and cleaning, and they don't see any future beyond that. In Tamale, we visited 2 second cycle institutions and about 3 NGOs that are working to help improve the lives of people over there. And the same problem was running through, where women engagement was quite low, even though it has improved dramatically over the years. And it has to do with the mindset of the people, the mindset of the women, how confident they are, and if they believe that what they are learning can really help to improve their lives. I believe this can be resolved if we are able to present to them successful women who are homegrown from Tamale and can share their experiences with them and can share confidence and let them know that if I can make it, then you too can make it.
Tamale, with one of the fastest growing economics in the northern sector of Ghana, has great entrepreneurial opportunities resulting from indigents running businesses in all sectors. The region holds a large number of institutional head offices for the northern sector of Ghana. This gives the local entrepreneurs a greater chance of access to finance and other financial supports.
So Tamale is the capital of the northern region. It's a fast-growing region in the suburb region of the country. It has a lot of traditional businesses going on there, which is boosting the finances of the region. It's also a highly populated region, or a fast-growing population region. This is bringing about some traditional businesses, or they producing their own things to be able to support themselves in order not to exceed their budget, which is in turn giving them a high rate of finances. There are a lot of financial institutions there, and actually the region, or Tamale, is the town that holds most of the head offices of some of the financial institutions in the northern sector of Ghana. They hold most of their head offices for the financial institutions. In Tamale, we have lots of financial institutions and investors willing to support startups, willing to invest in them, especially when they are producing local stuff, when they're producing things that is going to be of high benefit to the region, things like shea butter, things like millet and the likes, which in turn bring returns to the region. During our engagements in Tamale, we were able to speak to 5 banks and then 4 microfinances and savings and loans. We spoke to them, and then we realized that the managers there, or the staff of these financial institutions, are willing to support and help all these startups and local businesses, help them to structure their businesses, help them to give them networking sessions. They're also giving them free advisory services. They are giving them monitoring. They go and inspect businesses to make sure that they are on track. In areas in the region where they have low literacy rates, where they are not able to invest into technical stuff there, they give them the trainings, they give them the support in every aspect, be it general literacy or financial literacy, and then they give them insight. If you like, for instance, they decide to venture into this particular kind of business, probably maybe they want to go into mining, they want to go into petty trading or transport. They give them insights into that particular industry to be able to make sure they know what they are going in for, the do's and don'ts, all circumstances related to those kind of businesses. In the long run, they have a smooth business flow. Before they decide to support a business, they make sure that they have all the requirements needed from the startup. That is, they having guarantees, they having security, either in form of a landed property or lien. Lien is where you have you put money down for money, so they hold up one of parts of the loan you're coming in for. So let's say maybe you're coming in for 100%, but they'll hold like 1/3 of it in your account, and then they give you out. So when you're able to refund your loan, they give you your money back. So that is in form of lien or a landed property. You're supposed to have, and then make sure that you have a continuity plan for your business, so that in case anything happens, in case you pass on or something happens, your business shouldn't stop at where you end. It's continuous. So with this, they are assured that they're not going to have bad debts, or they're not going to run into bad debts. They're not going to have the problem of people not being able to pay back loans taken, and then they end up running away into other towns. And then they also, the problem, or one problem that they face, is location. How to, with location of people, because I can create a business, or someone creates a business at this location. They don't have maybe the right location or maybe the right address of it. They decide to move their business to another place. Now locating them from one point to the other point is a problem. So with that, even if there's a default in payment, how to get them from there to their new business place is quite difficult. It's one challenge they face as a region. And then the literacy rate in general, but they try as much as possible to leverage the literacy rates by training them to be able to get more entrepreneurial programs or more startups in the region.
Tamale possesses one of the fastest growing economies. We are much impressed with the startup culture and the size of popular businesses around. We interacted with over 20 companies, including tech startups and farm businesses.
The city of Tamale was pretty interesting with its large agricultural nature, and we found out that there's a lot of petty trading as well as the popular businesses going on, especially in the heart of the city. And we also found out that the most cultivated produce there as well. Amidst that too, you find most of the indigents engaging in 2 or more activities. For example, they can have a store in the heart of town, but when they go back home, they own like a farmland in their own house or background. So that's one key thing we also found out about the city of Tamale. In regards to the key challenges faced in Tamale, we realized that access to finance was a problem, as well as the literacy level of some of the indigents. So in regards to businesses, we found out that a minority of them were on social media. That constitutes about 43% of the businesses we interacted with, as well as 34% with websites.
Tamale is one of the fastest growing cities across the West African sub-region. The city is highly concentrated in traditional businesses. Creation of more opportunities will expose the local entrepreneurs to other ecosystems.
Tamale is one of the fastest growing cities across West Africa, with an increasing populated region, which has a highly concentrated with traditional businesses taking place within the region. Against this background, I realized that there are a lot of organizations based on a secondary data that were listed to be running or forming supports to businesses and startups. By operation on site, we realized that most of them were just project-based supports that have folded up due to the end of the project, so they were no longer in operation. Some also have relocated or changed offices, so we're unable to get in touch with them. But we realized that it's more of indigenous businesses in there, but there are lots of startups coming up that need support. But I'll say that organizations like Hoppin Hub is doing their best to train businesses or startups to scale up, but still need the financial support within the value chain to scale up. So we spoke with 3 enterprises, including Comfort, the one formalized business organization. We also spoke with ActionAid within the social enterprise. Then we have a few challenges with infrastructure provider like the telcos, since where they are situated is more of the branch and don't have much decision making to give out access to data, so we're unable to get the feed from them. One of the things that I encountered, or the team also encountered, is we get access to the organizations per course. Upon reaching the sites, the individuals representing the organization don't have much data to give us based on our questionnaire, so it impedes or defeats the purpose of our meeting, because they are more privacy conscious or data privacy conscious in giving us the information. So they say that, oh, my boss is not there, he'll come this day. So we're looking to capture all those data in our continuous data to have a good representation of who is doing what in Tamale and other regions.
The Tamale ecosystem can be described as the ecosystem that stands out among the northern ecosystems in Ghana. It is the fastest growing city in West Africa and has all the government support organizations to support the growth of businesses. The ecosystem has been embarked on for the construction of a technology park at Savelugu to promote and encourage the growth of technical ventures in the ecosystem.
Of the 11 regional engagements we had, the northern region, which was one of them, the ecosystem visited there was the Tamale Metro ecosystem. That's the Tamale ecosystem. And with the Tamale ecosystem, some items that stood out were the fact that the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly, which was the lead policy organization, had an investment profile which was not found in the earlier 3 regions that we went to: Upper East, Upper West, and Northern. Upper East, Upper West, and the Northeast region. Interesting to add up was the fact that the assembly also adopted a public-private partnership model in order to provide financing for being able to cover the gap that they have in terms of entrepreneurial infrastructure. And so they outsourced some entrepreneurial space, such as construction of markets, to entrepreneurs who would be able to fund that to build, operate, and then transfer back to the assembly over a period of time, which was interesting because it then helped the ecosystem to thrive more and the needs of various entrepreneurs to be met by other entrepreneurs. And that means they get the opportunity to actively involve in the development of the ecosystem. Another component that stood out was the fact that key finance institutions for the public side involved the National Board for Small Scale Industries, NBSSI, the Micro Small Loan Center, that's MASLOC, and the assembly itself, Tamale Metropolitan Assembly. And this was really impressive. Yeah. Also, it was discovered that entrepreneurs in the Tamale ecosystem are the people who always like to blow their trumpets at the very early stages when their businesses haven't grown. So they start businesses, they run the business over a short period of time, they begin to make profit, and instead of plowing it back and growing their businesses, they begin to diversify into other areas when they have not been able to solidify their market for the various businesses that they are already running. And this then leads to most of them surviving a maximum of 3 years. So this doesn't really help the ecosystem to grow. In terms of business registration, the Registrar General's Department is found in the Tamale Metro, which then serves as an advantage to entrepreneurs who are found within this space, because others that it serves, that's within the northern zone, would have to travel from regions like the Northeast region, the Upper East region, the Savannah region, and also the Upper West region in order to access these services. And this, I think, is an enabler for the ecosystem to thrive more.